say, manager, no, Payano, how do you? Original dinosaur, a family criminal who are the West Bobo, and we're changing my one. That's a criminal where we are to it. Look at the Aqua, not do a West Bobo. I know. Jamo, my Jamo, I'll be a Jamo. When the general aware, I may pay a dead morning. I'm all a Jamo. I got there is a tower solar and case go. Don't let your way, don't from the way. Ula Uji, who is Coco, that day, we wait there. Echo lawyer got a one day, oh my. Tower solar, I got it, oh my. So look at your lap, Casco, and got the value solar, I got it, oh. Hello, so Girario. Oliver so up when we are more. I thought so Adamo. One day that they are so. Mobile patches, so you wait. I play front to away. Go as you. From what you be. Why not I know a class go? Show us all about your soul, yes, no. But there's no one just so good. I am but this so I bring me a more. And my poem was a princess. Sarasana Bandamo, Diano. And my poem, you are not going away. When I am a book was on day. Not a day, echo from Moscow. I'm a day back on away. But I am minus go. And my poem, but I came out. For it does so play that now. I know you, who is go. Then what a family where who said now, like Jamao. Swap, no, you may swap, I am all over. Don't let your will. Broke out, do you will. Swap, all about, I don't know. More where we swap family, why you know I am. I tell you, yeah, but I saw my people. One day I found so that way. Rosetta so funny, I did. My friend so last go, I know. Oh, you know so, and this so, catch you so, you bring back to be a last go. I said, get the body fast, so I tell you, I tell you. We got so concerned. My way back just over you way. Lovely so way. No dear over minus school. And my poem never seems to go. And I tell him, I say, I don't see a mere way. I bet you are away. And my Christian so I can be a more. Who I tell him, and my country so I can be a more. But you so swapping up. Come so go, why you call your will? By your chain, my saver. I don't do it what I say, or the animal for you. When you stop looking, I don't know about what I was also. Also, pay to some.
The guy, no, then when we are watching from the club, we are up. I put him all doing the way. And why we are where? Not doing a shell on that. And wow, so me a player who ya no kwibia.
Me boy no tai no. So from the camera, who were this here with Scopo? Snap boy don't go. No power. Hello. From the day they put away na Jaima o. From the day they put away. Jaima o. Dayana Jaima o. From the day they put away. Baba for your way, for your way. You're Lucian Jagger, Dramone, go ahead, go, for your way. Baba, I am never power. Daniela Jaima, there is a soldier, whatever you're doing, Baba, the way you go. Well, I tell imo, komplede negbe koyonwe. Komplede, elo so konti na mo bia imo. Patron, baye koyonwe. Engwe la che imo, komplede negbe koyonwe. Ponu ti o, orito sola ponu ti o. Ese ti o bayo kare. Komplede pa koyonwe, komplede negbe koyonwe. Engwe che imo, komplede. Let me one yes, now I'm a pass out. Komplede negbe koyonwe. Hello, there is also. Suwa koyo do iwe. Komplede negbe koyonwe. Komplede negbe koyonwe.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business. Hello listeners, this is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it out for you.
Good evening to want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you very much for joining me here this evening. This is the program, All Things Considered, right here airing this evening on the Diaspora Informative News outlet Lpr-Public Radio. To welcome to the show. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. Share it for us, hit the icon button, and just hit the share by outlet there to invite someone at your company as well, because it is both you, us, and all of us having this conversation. It's important that we do this. And so we want to welcome you this evening here on this network. So thank you so much for joining us. Just give me a minute, try to do some little bit housekeeping here with the system, so that just bear with us for us to get the ball rolling. In the meantime, just hit the share icon and we will get the ball rolling. I'm not sure why I'm not getting my own live view here for whatever reason, but we will get that. Just hit a button for me and we will get the ball rolling right here, and we just keep it as it is. Just bear with us. Let me take this quick one here and I will be right back. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful, inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
That's the lover boy. Mazola Gisi is always here on Sunday to bring you news, information, and entertainment. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining me this evening. As usual, today is Wednesday, and it is the program All Things Considered, airing right here. Very shortly, the analysts going to be here. We're going to activate the line. A lot going on in our country, and we will have that discussion. Of course, you will be part of that conversation as well. If this is the first time, you are wholeheartedly welcome to tonight's program. Is 8:14 Eastern Standard Time, right here from the New England Bureau of the Lpr-Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I am your presenter, your host, your anchor, Alfonso Zia, right here this evening. Beautiful weather here. Pretty nice weather here in the East Coast here this evening. So I'm not sure how your end looks like, but we hope and pray that everything is okay. And to the analysts, the video link is out there, and you are most welcome. Let me welcome my man from Jamaica, Mr. Art Maki. Please, I hope I'm calling your name the right way. But I really do appreciate jumping in here with us to have this conversation. It is very vital. It is important that we hold that. Something weird is really happening. I can imagine my own life view. I can see it on my device. That's very unusual. So I'm trying to see what I can send, because I like to monitor it. It's the app is good. But I can't just see it, and I like to really kind of take a view of everything here on my view too. But hey, again, this is the first time we say you are heartily welcome. Thank you for always being here. We appreciate your time, your energy, the time you spend with us here. Without you, we cannot do this. So you give us the courage, the motivation as well for us to have this sort of conversation. So we really, really appreciate that. So if you can just do a favor, just hit the share button, the button down there, the long pointed arrow, so that someone too from elsewhere, it can be a friend, it can be a folks from in different group. You just hit that and they will trust me and they will also join to form part of the conversation. I want to thank you so much. Very shortly, the rest of the folks will be here and we will have the conversations. In the meanwhile, let's look at some of the news that happening here. Let's see here, a lot going here. We're going to go to the Liberia, New Dawn newspaper. Let's see here. I believe I have the Liberian investigator also here. McCall. Is that McCall or McKay? Because I know it's KOY. It should be like McCall from Jamaica. Okay, maybe if you will, I'll just call you up. I don't want to. I hate for put a mess my name up, but I really just want to say thank you. I'm not sure what is the time in Jamaica that if I have to look at my time here, I would know exactly, or maybe depending. I don't know whether everything is on the same time zone to know the city where you are, but I'm quite sure it's evening hour, late hour there too as well. But I want to thank you so much for joining us here. Hopefully you will share the news with friends and let us know. Give us a feedback in terms of what we do here. If that's something that really meets your expectation, and if we need to improve on it, let us know as well. We will try to do that. We always accommodate suggestion here because this is a network for all. And so we don't just want to have it our way. It must be the way of the audience, of the folks that follow us, so that they will know exactly what we do and how we go about doing this. So we really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for always joining us here on this network. Okay, well, folks, let's get a ball rolling and appreciate that. For some reason, I can't see it on my other view, but whatever the case, I'm going to use this as well. And as soon as we get ready to, we're going to shift gears. It seems that the weather is changing from this end here this evening. Welcome, Peter. Good to have you here. We want to welcome my man Vinicius is here. Let's have a good show tonight. Of course, there will always be a good show when I'm here. Only it is the liberal and his folks when they're here, they try to do it their way, and not take into consideration the audience and those of you that come here. But again, you know, you guys here to always cheer the liberal also. Nothing is ever kind of like by here, but we'll try to activate the line. Again, there's a new LPR line. It's 781-363-5939. And this number is also available via WhatsApp. So just in case you want to call in and you are outside of America, just go into WhatsApp, and make a phone call. And then, of course, you will be heard as well. So that's the good thing about it. We have to make changes due to a few things, but it's available via WhatsApp. If you want to express your view, your comments, you can also make use of the comment field, the live field, whatever you want to say about your country or whatever you want to talk about Liberia, you can also do that, and we'll be glad to get that comment out, to also read it, and also to give your view. But remember, all views, opinions expressed during our programs here are that of the views of the individual or the group. They do not represent the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do facilitate these high-called conversation, so you know. Let's have this commercial here, and I will be right back. That's our man, Lover Boy. He's on every Sunday on this network, so we don't just talk on the politics. We also, you know, look at other aspects of society as well, and that is very key. That is very vital. And this is why the Lover Boy is here, dancing for Jesus every Sunday. Inspirational gospel songs that will lift your soul, that will kind of heal you, and I will get you rolling. So let's take a break, and I will be right back.
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful, inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
Okay, that's the song that introduces the program here, All Things Considered. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending your location. We want to thank you so much for joining us here this evening, this day right here. Today is the 13th of what? August. Wow, the year is fast spent again already. We are almost there. Again, it's by the grace of God. So we want to thank you so much to all of our valuable prime time listener viewers, those that come in on a daily basis. We really do appreciate you. Peter, thank you so much, my man. Don Peking, good evening. What's up? Lawrence is here. Trocon is in the house. Amanda Tonga Zia is in the house. Venetia is here as well. Our man I is here all the way from Jamaica, chilling with us. We're really, we are humble. We are blessed to have all of you here always. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with us or not. You can make decision for yourself. You can decide for yourself. You can determine which direction your country want to go. You can speak to your president. You can speak to your government to say, hey, me, I as a citizen, this is my disagreement. This is my view on the conduct, how things is being run. Don't start too much people here. So, and that's why, everybody, and this is why we hold government free, because government does have a greater portion into what we do. Government is the influential into our daily basis. They control our economy, our social services, based on the policy they're going to put in and all of that. So that is very vital. So, and this is why when we always here, the emphasis is placed on them because they have to lead the way through. They have to create that change. They have to create that sort of path to sources, the policy they're going to put in place and all of that. But we are also aware of the device that we have in the society is a contributing factor. But even at that, it is a responsibility of the government to do what is right. And of course, and all of those who seek in state power. And this is why it is so vital. It is so important that there is a lengthy conversation with these people. But we always give them the pass. We always give them free pass. We facilitate these wrongdoing. So as the result, when it catch up with us, then we complain. Then we complain and we begin to say, oh, knowing what I know, I didn't know, I never expected this, I never thought of this, and we give all of these sort of bunch of excuses because we believe so much in men. All right, we see what is happening, just on the visual aspect, their way of doing things, we draw the conclusion to say yes. when we get this guy there, everything gonna be okay. But government is a sort of unique society for itself. You can have a friend here today, you'll hang out for the longest, but when they are incorporated, when they are in government, and depending on their position, things can quickly change to your disbelief. And you'll be like, what? This guy, we went to school together, we're in the same classroom, we were hanging out, we're doing everything. No air could even go between us. But guess what? When he gets at a different point, his conversations is being elevated to a different level. And so he has to speak to that language, to that tone, to that rhythm. And so sometimes we blame people for different things. It is why it is. Like if you're an ordinary worker here, ordinary staff who goes to work from morning to afternoon, and at some point in time you are given a promotion to become like a supervisor or some sort of leader or whatever leadership role, then it's a different thing because more or less you too will be accountable to your bosses. So your way of doing things yesterday, that has to change. It has to keep up to the standard, to the new spotlight that they took you. So sometimes that's how it looks like. You have to also accept that to say, oh, this guy, other people remember some, it is why it is. So it is very, very much important. But there are a couple of things going on that we need to talk about, and that all is about our country and what we see happening, even the former ruling party leaving their headquarters. That is huge. And I remember I had this conversation before with then Chairman Molo during one of my visits to Liberia. And while we were sitting there, I'm not sure what I even knew to pull one of the video where at the time they were accusing Cummings. And that conversation was not on camera, but I was asking a question based on some of the things that I saw and the buildings that was erected in honor of one of the fallen exhibitions, Muna Youngblood Pennon, who happens to be the former representative. And when I asked whether that entire property was for them, when he said no, I'm like, but then why are you guys building this thing here? And that question was not fully answered. As usual, politicians, they are very strategic, they are very political, they never give definitive answer. But this speaks to the values of the everyday problem that we have, and it's just not only for them. From all past governments, our inability to make institutions to survive and to hold up to our institutions, that's a problem. It is a serious problem, and those problems could or can be potentially dragged into national government when they are there. And the second part is we as members of these institutions that claim to be supporters of the political party institutions or even BS organization, if the member cannot keep up or keep the growth and support of the organization, that's a problem because bulk of the problem then it lies within the head, and which is very, very, very dangerous. And this is why you don't see our political party being structured as an institution that will continue even after you, Breakable, leaves the leadership of that institution, of that party or so. Let's put it that way. And we saw that happening with NDP, or the very United Party, the last time around. It's because the party, the institution is just centered around one person, who most likely happens to be the chief financial. That is a problem. When one person or two persons singly support any institution, is hard. It's hard. You can be 10, you can be 15, but even at that, if only 2% or 3% becomes committed to be supportive, it's very hard to sustain, and that's what happened. And some of these things, the leader too brought it upon themselves. There's something political essential that was lacking within the CDC. It was lacking within the NDPL. The last time around, it was lacking within the Unity Party. What is there now, we would know at some point in time. That is, it will fail to structure our institutions. It will alienate our allies, our supporters, and we'll forget them because we at certain point that is dangerous. The long-term implication can it's just not good, and that's what we see happening now. And to be honest, I foresee more to be coming. I'll read some of the tweets coming from some of the seditions. First of all, who want to wait until after 6 years? Who want to wait? You get family to support. And there's nothing guaranteed that even if you wait after 6 years, your 6 year dreams, your 6 years anticipation, wanting to see things that to happen, what it will happen. No, it's a two-way street, loss and win. So nobody wants to do that. No way. And to be an opposition in Africa is hell because literally government controls everything. These people that leave, they do not have a backbone. We saw what was happening with the Unity Party. Now the cards, the coins are flipped around. But CDC, they just misused their opportunity. They have they have the money, but I'm not sure it's there again. And if you know very well, in your first 4 years, 3 to 6, and you want to continue, you are building an institution, you are building a political structure. That structure has to be equipped. They were unable to maintain their coalition. They were unable to hold fire with their supporters. I think this one here differently. That's what I think I want to give this one to Joseph Boyka and the Unity Party. And that is very dangerous. When you have people who are being there, when you lose your essential, that is people who are being there with you. There are some people that you can count on them. They are your diehard. When somebody say, I'm willing to take a bullet for you, it means a lot. So what happened now? This CDC, it came yesterday, was a country giant. We saw that song alone generated some sort of momentum. Copto Jarabala is here. I was seeing Analysts based in New Jersey. And we're seeing it now today. We're going to talk about a party too. What will happen in the next 6 years if Joseph Boyka is not there? The failed policies of our people to have institutions to build strong institutions. But let me just bring in Koto here and let's have this conversation. Oh my goodness. Good evening. The Queen of Lpr.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Good evening to the people of Liberia. How are you doing so far?
I am doing great. Doing okay. The liberal and his ally, including you, now you have different group chats. I'm not part of, but those messages still coming to me. That is okay. How are you
Not to
today?
my knowledge. What are you talking about? Group chat? I don't know what kind of group chat you're talking about. See,
Okay.
I joined the CDC and they're lying to you.
you want breakable, you breakable the boy, their blood boiling, don't even come care, don't come make sugar red go oil the evening here because we stay near here around here. Good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. It's a pleasure being here tonight. And
Okay, how is the mail
yeah,
going so far?
well, this evening about around 4 or 5, it was raining, and I guess I don't know. I haven't stepped outdoors, so I
Oh,
don't know. But I heard a rain sound at that time, but I guess it may have ceased.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah, a
then
little
even
funny thing
though
out
so
there. Yeah, it's the weather is kind of like always off and on. Okay, so too much is going on. You guys are close, much closer to the people in the systems. A lot of things happening. Eviction taking, I don't know whether that eviction or voluntary removal or whatever it is. People comparing, contrasting now where you know what you did this happened to you the last time too, so it happened to all now, it's no big deal. But let's go into to your playbook. This is all things considered. What is so concerning about your country today you want to talk about?
what is on my playbook right now is our security issue. And I know the other day, and it happened that I was in the midst of people, discussing, and they were like, "Oh, why the police when that lady resisted arrest and she was not, forced to be arrested." Even as much as the security forces try to take precaution, but if there is somewhere in the midst that as we know, not many of them are well trained, or if they are trained, they are not abiding by what they are trained to do. They go ahead and do their own thing. But again, that is just about the report we got. People try to, turn it on like individuals, but again, so many things that happen, and we then talking about it, and this is why it comes about because we saw it with the capital building issue, and the way issue was handled, it was just not appropriate. And this is where we get a report that had impact on the country. And if we are Liberians and say that, oh, that does not affect me, for me, it affects me. Because I expect that our country would be, in a better standing with international standard because we are in other countries and following, the standard that we follow there. And I see some people trying to make comparison that America is not following our own, process what we did. Again, we are depending on America. If we depending on them, we got to be on the restriction they have on us. Because it's like if you are still living with your parents, you have to expect them to discipline you if you don't behave the way they want you to behave. So this is where we are. And I saw the CDC with the eviction notice, and I saw the disrespect, given to our people who are really diehard sedition. I showing some disrespect to them, coming to the point of after going through this whole scenario of removal, then I see head of sedition posting AI, buildings, to appease the people of Liberia. I mean, this is so bad because this is what they have done to the Liberian people, and they fall prey to all of these things. And because they were fooling them and telling them lies today, they are still believing what they did. And I saw a lot of Liberians falling, prey to this, that, oh, yes, this is the building they have. Why will you be lying to your people? I think these are not things that we should do. What is done, we should respect the people. You got in power and enjoy all the amenities that you were enjoying. Today, the people are staying in their poor conditions. So, for me, it was like a disrespect to the Liberians that are supporting the CDC. And, I felt so bad about it. And also, I saw I the reply from the president acknowledging the result of the report. And I thought it would have been, the other way around where people would be a pointing figure accusing. But I saw this as okay, we agree that this happened and we're going to get into our own investigation as to how these things happen and how we can move forward from where we are. I thought those are things that I saw and I took consideration of.
Okay, yeah, and there are a lot of things. I want to take time with our human rights reports to kind of really go through it so I'll be able to have a lengthy conversation. So I'm not really going to go there today. But the reason we're going to talk about that, because if it happens to any of the party, we're going to talk about, because for some of us,
Exactly.
we do believe that institution must be structured. Institution must survive in the absence, no matter who is the head. There must be a continuity. The failure to maintain institution is another version of us unable to manage to conduct. Now, is there a lesson here? I know Unity Party had their own time around. Now we're seeing this happening. It does happen first with Unity Party leaving their place and all of that. They were in authority now. Would there be a turning point? Would there be a lesson learned from Unity Party? And like I was saying, one thing I think I want to give to President Boyka is so far his ability to maintain his essentials. Your essentials are people who stood with you, people who were there with you during bad times, during good times. But when you get to the good role, then you want to treat them like caterpillar. You know caterpillar, right? Right now, when the mansion, when we're building that mansion, that caterpillar are moving all the day, all the right, we're bulldozing. Then you can't allow caterpillar to buy. No. You go part two Jarata. They can't let it buy now. Even though it was caterpillar, Labra Mercy, yellow machine, or whatever it was the one that initiated the all of the query. But now the building is in tight. The guy who laid the foundation to see that building, they can't allow her to pass through that road there. Let's welcome Terry Collins from Minneapolis, Minnesota, senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and a strong ally of the liberal progressive on this network. New title out there.
To Scotto and to you, the examiner, good evening, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, good. Terry, you're gonna come to your own tabata, but I'm sort of concerned. I could be wrong, but I see my predictions kind of demolitions of the CDC is in the making. Dissolutions of the party, or the party just being like one of these other parties were just all around, because I don't even think George Weah is willing to put money to do anything now, because he is just more or less, he's so financial. There are a lot of things crowded, a lot of things pending, hanging over CDC, and they need to realize that there are strong people leaving. The tweet of the acting chairman, the coming of the acting chairman, Kanyo Bala, and all of those people, then most likely these people, they are on their way. But we can have that conversation. I know people will be in denial. People don't like it. We don't really talk things where people want to hear. We say things of reality that they need to hear. This is not good for a party that we knew yesterday was so going fast in their inability to maintain, to hold their grip. That is very, very much troubling. Terry, let's look in your photo before I go back to Koto. Today is All Things Considered. What are you hearing from your end? What is so much dearest to you?
Well, like you said, the report, the CDC eviction, that is very, very concerning, that CDC, being one of the major political institutions, is getting evicted from the premises, something that they should have been able to control over the years. But does that mean that CDC is done? I would say no. CDC can make a comeback if they know what to do. The only problem is that they don't know what to do. That's the only thing that happening here, because they built a party around one man popularity. So as a result, like one journalist was saying today, that when you lose the kind of major elections, you go back and you sit down and analyze where we mess up, what to do, and all of that. And the journalist said something. He said the former president have not even taken a tour to the Southeast and other places to go and thank the people that voted for him. and you know, and try to tell other people, tell them thank you at least, and say, look, you know what, we lost, but we can make it. He have not even done a nation tour to reconsider it and try to reconcile and say where we went wrong and things that we can straighten up. They're not thinking about that. They're flying, and every now and then they post some kind of picture about him, and then, oh, Joe, we will come by 2029. But I still believe that CDC is one of the major political parties right now in Liberia. The only thing, this particular thing will weaken their position to be able to be relevant in the media, to speak on some national issues. People won't take them seriously. And that will give Unity Party the opportunity to try. Because like right now, there is something that CDC could use on Unity Party, but they can't right now because they have lost the juice that's supposed to give them the power to speak. And they are the only political party that have been speaking and holding this government feet to the fire. So if they lost their credibility, how can they speak? Like the report now that we're seeing, they use, that is what really I wanted to talk about. The report coming out, the human rights report, that is where they should have gained now. They should have used this thing to gain on the Unity Party. But how can they? When they're talking now, the people will say, but I see this talking. The people are kicking out of so they're losing all the opportunities that they're supposed to have politically to gain political dividend. So I really don't understand what they're gonna do. But my attention was actually drawn to the report that I was just reading just a while ago. And you know, and I thought that was something.
I've not had a chance. Honestly, it's had a very crazy long day. I just did a set of skimming, but that cannot deter you from, speaking to it. So let me come back. So that's something you want to talk about. Is all things considered, we can talk about that. I too want to take a lengthy review of this, but I'm just kind of worried the inability of our people to have things to survive, their inability. This is why we always having parties and parties and parties. We're not even questioning ourselves. What are we doing wrong? What is it that we are not putting together? How is this party going to be maintained? It's not just only wake up, I'm a strong supporter, I like this person. You don't pay a due. And part of what the reason you see party touring apart, they see this political party and think they're here. And I know people will say it's ridiculous to compare Liberia, but there are other African parties. People needs to be paid for their expertise. Then they devote time, then they are committed. You can't have a party secretary, you're not paying this person. You can't have your party chairperson, the campaign chair, not taking pay. You can't have your public relation people and they are not taking pay. How do they survive? These people have family. So do you think, you and myself, do you think, let's be honest here, this is the first or second maybe year we are in now. Do you think these people can go for 6 years? I know they are really that hard, but it's difficult. You have a family to sustain. There's no one, no eminent or responsible men to say that you don't want to work. Even if you don't have family, you have to sustain yourself. How are they going to do that? I mean, it's a difficult thing. Unity Party too went through that. So would they all kind of would they learn new thing now to say, oh, and that burden is also rests on the President Joseph Boyka, whether he will recontest or not, which seems to be the case. All legs, everything moving now. The almost seems to be in high gear of contesting, but would they learn a lesson? Let's come here, and I know I want to play that video too with that lady and that policeman. It's ridiculous. It's just unbelievable. We citizens, the way people behaving, the way people the disrespect in the country is so much. We're going to come to that. But let's come to the ruling party now. Would they learn a lesson from what is happening now? Because it's dangerous to lose your essence, your essentials. That's what you have. If you lose the core value, that is a serious problem.
Thank you, Mr. So I think it should be a learning process. what I saw the Unity Party did, I don't know now. Many of the citizens, made use of this opportunity. When they got into power, there were a lot of young people. You see the Mo Ali, the Stephen, and Yanton. Then they took the opportunity to go to school, and came back, started working with that experience. But unfortunately for the CDC, I did not see much of the people like the Jefferson Koji who could say, okay, let me take the opportunity to go and get further education. I didn't see that with many of them. And now losing an election is not easy, especially when you look at power that you have tasted, and you don't have a career that you can really depend on. Many of them always depend on a government job. If the government does not give them job, you see them, they look like nothing. Okay? It's so sorrowful, for our people. They don't create a career for themselves or create a job opportunity for themselves. So when they don't find themselves in a government cycle, they're no longer relevant, to society. Now you don't hear them, because I don't care how much you have. The lifestyle that you have lived will have to go along with how your income is. And now with the status some of them achieve, you want to maintain that status. So it's so frustrating. That's why you see the like a Carol's grading. I know you're an opposition supposed to actually, hold the government feet to fire. But the way they are doing it is like there's so much yanning that is sexy. I should just be over, let it get into power again. And it's sad, because what job are you creating today? When you were there, what job did you create for the people that today that you're going to stand before them again to be asking them to vote for you? For me, when somebody come back to ask if they were in power, those are the questions I will be asking. What can this person do better than what they did? So I hope they're learning from the process, and because I don't know where they're going to survive easily, because I think the Unity Party should learn from it, because if you do not prepare yourself, you'll find it difficult to fit in society, because you don't have nothing to depend on. You see, even the like of I still talk about the Oman Johnson, Jackson. The same of Jackson. Jackson have been empowered all of the government, from Dole up to Ellie, up to Africa. What can they prove? What job opportunity are they ready? What company have he really brought to Liberia that Liberians have benefited from? That he sits there and describe every government that come in power. These were people that were in power. The only thing they could do was to import women. That was what Jackson they were doing, And today they want to sit there and be criticizing people. I would like, look at you when you criticizing. What did you do when you had this position? What impact did it make on the young people? That today you coming to be causing noise at this government, and when you have worked in all of these governments that you have criticized, with the exception of this the boycott government that he had not gotten opportunity to work with. So I think they should learn, and for me, I like to learn from my experience. So I'm hoping that they will learn from their experience.
They will learn from their experience. Okay, Terry, would that experience ever?
Well, it depends, Mr. So I think, yes, Sis Cotto is right, but I would not want to blame the older guys who were in those various political institutions at the time for even though I know they don't like to take responsibility for the mistakes they made and the errors and the misinformation that they disseminated in the country at the time that led to the death of many other government officials. Exactly. But the problem was that, Liberia were at a place where there was a high level of ignorance and there was a high level of oppression. So the country had to go in a certain direction as it went, and there were people that just spark those tensions. Like I was telling somebody the last time, I said misinformation is very, very dangerous. And I want to believe that is what even led to the death of Tolbert, that what led to, because even during the war, people got killed foolishly. They just look at you and say, oh, they man, it got big. They know that you are working in the government, so they kill you. Or oh, they man, because he can't speak or he can't speak Crown or he can't speak Geo. They kill you, especially the Crown people. The Crown people, they kill them a lot. Because especially where I was at behind it, so once you can't speak a dialect, they consider you to be Crown person, they kill you. So, it was based on misinformation. Even the killing of Tolbert, I see people praising Tolbert now. They praising Tolbert that, oh, Tolbert was a good president. But then they didn't know that he was a good president because of propaganda and misinformation. And it is the same thing that we see in our dispensation. And thank God for social media that have made it easier for you to come on here and explain your story and give facts and tell the truth so that the disinformation or the misinformation can be, dispelled. But CDC is a political party that has sense is crumbling. And if they do not put their house in order, they will crumble even further. And I think one of the major reasons why they are crumbling, Mr. Soul, is because of the standard bearer. The standard bearer is one of the source of the CDC, and he will be the reason why CDC will crumble faster than even the MPP, because he's not a politician. And that is why they don't want to hear. A politician have a passion for politics. So because of that, even if they cook it, they will manage to maintain. Look at Unity Party. Unity Party said had a headquarter problem. But how were they able to somersault from under that barrier? Today they are now ruling establishment. While you were in power, you were not even able to secure anything, to secure something to prepare yourself for the future. Now your party is at a disadvantage. You outside of the country while you are getting evicted, while your people getting evicted. What kind of message does that send? And then they're going to come on here and talk about that. You can't defend this. It cannot be defended nowhere. You're out of the country chilling, having a nice time, while your party headquarters is getting evicted. And not that you didn't know. You knew that it was going to happen. All right? But then you posted some kind of AR projection and you want your partisans and your people to believe that this is in the process. But again, they will believe it, which I'm not responsible for what they believe. But what I'm saying, Mr. So, is that if the party will progress, CDC got to come up with a better strategy. They got to have an organized political system that is ran not only by former President Weah's mindset and way he thinks, but that is ran by the organization that govern that particular party or institution. Otherwise, CDC is fast crumbling.
Yeah, let's welcome Moses, and that's what I say. In politics, when you lose your essentials, that is a serious problem, and that's why you need to always keep your ally, people that have been with you. When you allow those people to start going away, and you think it's a fun, that's a problem. And I think I said that here. I say, well, as a head of a political party, you should be willing to take the bullet for all, whether you did or not. There was some careless statement came from the president. There were his leadership, why his talking point, and all of that. And this, what we're seeing happening is just not overnight. I was had a conversation here. You as an opposition, you had a speaker. And this speaker, for whatever reason, other member of your institution facilitated the removal of the speaker. I don't understand why we're going through the amount. That is a gradual personing of your institution to be demolished, to be destroyed, and not to recover. Let me bring in Moses here. Moses is our security analyst. I have this video here that surfaced, and it does something, but he want to speak to that. Moses, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Saw. How you doing?
Good. How is Delaware doing? That behind you there, not know that Delaware. Is that local or where?
Why you keep talking about behind me? That Delaware in the 30s.
Wow.
No, that's Monrovia.
Mr. Sigbe is a Congo. Mr. Sigbe seems to be a Congo loafer man. I never see a Congo loafer man, but he is one of those.
What Congo and loafer?
Ali, now see one. Okay, Mos, let's hear
you.
Today
You pray for me today? I'm asking the Reverend, did you pray for me today?
What, do you need prayer? You only want to pray for yourself?
No.
Mr. Sigbe, you are good. You are good.
Okay, you see, now that's what I want to hear.
Well, I don't know. Whatever I pray for you, that would be it's a nightmare. you're gonna go out. But let's hear you. What's on your mind? And I will play this video as well with this lady, with this police officer. I'm not sure what's really going on in our country.
Yeah.
And to get your take. But I think that officer seems to, from what I see, if there's any other story to develop later on, we would know that. But I think they contained themselves. Disciplines, level of high discipline was exhibited. I think they were tempted from what we see from the video. And like I said, if there's any other thing, that's different. But let's hear you. You as a security person, if you were confronted like that.
You see, I sent you the video, Mr. Saw, because not too long ago, there were a lot of talk about the police and the Fula woman. And if you can recall, I did mention that the IG response was totally inappropriate when he told the bullhorn and apologized before gathering the facts. And people thought I was speaking out a different word. You see, I remember growing up as a child when police officer, you were afraid to even shake the police officer's hand because they told you if you touch police officer and they're in uniform, that's assault. Now, this lady, you see, monkey do. And what she exhibited the other day was totally out of, listen, those police officers had the right to restrain her, handcuff her, and put her in the back of the truck. And I would not say that the police exercise restraint. I would say that they were not appropriately trained. They are not appropriately trained. They have not received the training to really do their job, and they didn't do their job. They didn't do their job in that situation because the lady assaulted a police officer in the open. And you know how many people were there?
Let's
people were there and saw what happened.
Let's watch this.
Happen those behavior. Okay, sure.
Let's watch this. Let's watch this here, and you can put it into context.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can temporarily put you in that position.
Yeah.
As you were the police officer, and that was happening to you.
And what do?
What could drive reaction? Let's watch this.
You can go. You can go. You can go. You can go. You will not go. You can go. You will not go. I have not going to arrest you. You will not go. No man will touch you. You will not go. You call the police. Why can't arrest me? People be paying that money. What can I pay? They put out of water. I want to story for okay.
You saw what you did. You can't bring all your hand. You will not go.
You're not going. Don't go. You can go.
You're not going.
You can go. You can mess with your own police. You know that you are leaving. You are there. That you are to go. She can go. You're not going. You're not going.
I see it's for the radio.
You're not going. You're not go. You can go. You can go. You're still right. You can go nowhere.
Naomi, I say it's very forsaken. As I'm talking to you, the Romeo have been damaged. It's very forsaken. No, I don't understand, sir. No, I don't understand you because your frustration and I'm with the wrong. So not say why we allowed to come.
Yeah, what would about the carry to go? Cargo pour down there. She can't start beating up. She might go. She's not going nowhere. Man, you're not going nowhere. You're not mess with your own police. They say you won't go. You can mess with your own police. No, don't touch her. Don't touch her. You going. You can go, man. You can go. You can go.
Yahweh. Hello, man. Hello, man. Hello.
You can go, man. Man, you can go.
You will not go.
Where?
You will not go. You will not go. Hey, hey, nothing will harm. You will not go. Where's the radio? The most part of the radio. You will not go. I come on now. Nothing will harm. Hello, I don't say this forces. I know I hear we standing now. We're graduating with our person carrying on. Then they get people inside there. She started telling us that stupid and foolish that we're doing. We're speaking in church. Oh, yeah, I'm here. Can you check? I'm here. Why would I check? The culture of when you have in your poor and so, I work for that. We don't want to see the correct. Then, Marvin's not that simple. He said, Marvin talk. She walked on the sidewalk. She did a Marvin. He is face again. The recording is not true. So I went, yes. Oh, yeah. I went there. I said, what you doing is wrong. Stop, you are female. You are married. I saw with the ring. I said, stop what you doing. The woman more violent. All in the video. More violent. You can hear you colors added. The video there, you will see it. She said, I don't care. I'm wonderful. You're fucking record. Yes, lady. Okay. I want a female for because we want to say, oh, the male officer. I want a female, I was
saying. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to spin my hair here. Officer, you can't go, you can't misbehave on police to go, you can't go. Let's break it, let's do it in bit and pieces.
Okay.
You saying this with the law enforcement expertise, you saying it. If you were a uniform guy and you were faced with that sort of situation, what could possibly have been the initial reaction?
The first thing is that the lady saw that all cars were being diverted because of whatever reason, what was going on. It wasn't personal to her. As soon as you touch a police officer, the officer has the right to apprehend you. Now, what I saw on there also is that none of those officers were carrying a restraint or a non-lethal weapon. That is handcuff or ziplock. None of them had it. So as far as restraining her, it was out of the question. They brought the female officer who did not have anything either. And then,
okay, let me just, what was the essence of that? What message were they sending?
What happened is that I think what the officers have been told by the AG is to save face and not do anything to embarrass him. And he cannot be apologizing like he did with the Fula woman. Because it wasn't too long ago. And that's wrong. As a police officer, as soon as you get touched, you need to be apprehended. Especially this lady that came and started to hit the police officer in the head. That should have been apprehension right there in handcuffs and isolated.
Was that assault? From what we see in the video there, was there was any assault been
Yes, there was an assault. She pushed the police officer head numerous times when she walked out there in the beginning of the video. And you can see him trying to walk away. And she went after him, pushing him. And then, not only that, but she broke the police radio. She broke the radio. She slammed the radio from the police officer's hand, and it broke. Everything she did was in violation of her civil rights and the police duty. Everything that was done there. If she had been apprehended as soon as she touched the police officer, that would have been killed. And all those people watching there, you see, monkey see, monkey do. And some of those the same thing with the police officer.
Why do you think the officers, more or less, they were too dead? That was enough persons to kind of like bring her to continue. Why do you think these officers did not physically get into her to contain her, restrain her?
Well, then I would be a soulmate. But my own mindset is that they didn't want, because I'm not sure what the IG is telling them, what training they got as far as, de-escalating things, because that's something that could not have been de-escalated, number one. Because she came violently towards the officer because she walked from where the car was. And she had thought about it from the time she got in the car and walked all the way down the hill to the officer.
Was her action premeditated?
Excuse me?
Her action was premeditated?
It was premeditated, because that's what they tell you. When someone is going to do something, they tell you in the heat of the moment, and they tell you, if you're 20 feet away from me and you pick up a stick and you walk into me, something in your head will tell you this is not right or this is wrong. But if you continue to go and you hit me with a stick, that means it was premeditated.
Okay. Let me bring
it. So the police officers are afraid. I think the police officers are afraid for the public sentiment if they have touched her and restrained her. Knowing how the public respond to those things and not understanding the duty of the officer, I guess they were afraid not to put their hands on her. Even at the time that the higher officer came in, he said, "Oh, wait a minute, ma'am." He called him a mom. And he was right there when the woman was there assaulting the police officer.
So
and you're a ranking officer coming in. Okay, ma'am, just tell me your story and calm down. And no.
Terry, let's leave the law enforcement side and come in the civil society here. Are there other variables that we need to look at in terms of this woman? Does she need any evaluation? What going on? We got too much going on. A lot of things happening at the same time. Not just see people well dressed in their kosu or nice lapa suit or whatever attire they might be in. Everything is just not okay. It's a time to take a approach on different things when these kind of things happen, when we see the unusual happening. Is there any other approach that we can use to see what's really going on?
Yes, I guess so too. And I think I want to a bit disagree with Mr. Sigbe, even though I know he's from that side. And I think from the policing, he's right, because that is what happened in America and things. But even in America, we see police can observe if, like what Gregor Coleman labeled on the guy who he suspended. He said excessive force. He used excessive force. So I think from observation, you can see a certain kind of reaction to determine what kind of force as a police officer to use on a woman to apprehend her. So apparently the police did not see enough to use excessive force to apprehend her in a way. I believe that is how they took it. And also, Mr. So, if you look at the report, it was just precise for the police to behave the way they behave. Because the report for the 2024 does not look good for Gregory Coleman when it comes to police brutality when it comes to human right, the human right report on how to treat, a civilian as a police officer. Gregory did not score good points in that era,
You put
even though
you,
they took some steps that was highlighted in the report.
but you are one of those who literally put your whole life on the line for Gregory. Gregory, I trust him. I do this. Here we are with
Yeah,
this
but
report. Does that diminish your? Was that a wrong judgment on your side? Because when
no,
you
it's
trust,
not, because
you
I
must-
know Gregory. It could have even gotten worse if it was not, because Gregory have exhibited in most areas professionalism. That is why I saw. And most of the time, Gregory was not the one shooting people. You were not the one attacking people. That was under the police officers.
but
That
talking,
those were
I'm not I
police
personally,
officers that were under Jovia
no,
police parties.
don't do this. Don't do this
Collins,
to us. Don't do this. I come.
come on
But
now.
I'm not saying the reports. I mean, I'm saying I've not read it. I've not gone
I've
into
not read
it
the
yet.
report either.
But based on what you say here, it doesn't look good for him.
right.
How do you reconcile that? Because it should balance, it should square it out. Report is the ones, it's almost like a data, it's almost like a statistic, it's almost like an evaluation. If your supervisor, if you're going through your annual or quarterly, it tells you where you're falling short, where you need to work, what you need to do to improve, and all of that. It points out all of those things here. But based on what I'm hearing from you now, can we then say, or can you still say that this guy is everything about him is okay?
Well, I didn't say everything about him, but I say he's a better guy for the job that I see so far. Like what you saying,
Is he
like
still
what you
better?
said, you really put it that what do you think about this situation from the civil society side? That is how you put it. Mr. Sikwa spoke from the legal perspective, from the investigatory perspective, which is his era. I understand me. So if you look at it, even the response from the president office to the report, the president said the president said these things, the report is not binding from a constitutional perspective. But then he gave other way to escape. So the report is giving an analogy based upon the civil society position on human rights. But the report does not validate that the action taken by an officer was
So
illegal.
okay, before
Right?
I did hear you saying the report is damaging. Is that correct?
Yes, the
So
report is damaging because this is a U.S. human right writing
Now,
on our stuff.
Mr.
That's why
Saw,
U.S. human right is reporting. All right, the human rights, the human
who the
rights
human,
report.
when you talk about that report,
U.S. State Department, the U.S.
what?
the U.S. Human Rights Report, the U.S. Human Rights Report.
I've not seen the report.
Okay, go check it out. Go it all on the social media.
Available to us.
U.S. Human Rights Report for the year
I'll
2024.
come back with some. Okay, U.S. Human Rights Report.
And like I said, since we have not read it, I saw it, but I've not gone into it, so I do not want to discuss it.
Let read it, then we can discuss it.
But yeah.
Let me,
So now,
Mr. So, let me just say that, Mr. So, you see, we need to take politics out of this thing. Politics is when campaigns going on. We look for leaders. Leadership is different from politicians. Leaders are totally different from politicians. So the politics is over, and we continue to try to align people's behavior with political affiliation. And I think we're doing these people total injustice when we do stuff like that, especially when they're elected into offices and when they're appointed into certain office. Politics don't tell you go do this. It's your ability to lead. And I can tell you with the police department, and I didn't even know that someone was suspended recently and all that stuff like that. But you don't suspend officers, and that's what I keep telling you. Police officers are not politicians. They're not supposed to affiliate. They're supposed to protect lives.
You say you don't suspend police officer?
No, you suspend them for what they do, not
Okay.
because of political reasons. Not because of you got to investigate to make sure that they did wrong. But again, by the same token, you got to give them the tools and the knowledge to do the job accordingly. And you can determine whether what the training was, it was applied or not applied. In this situation, that was not applied in this situation. The officer should have apprehended her because she assaulted the police officer continuously so that it can serve
Okay. Good.
So, Mr.
for
Segbe,
nobody else.
So,
Wait.
so
So that
can
other
I,
people watching in public, it can deter them from doing the same thing to officers.
so if I get you right, Terry, you're going to come in 1 second. I think if I guess what you're saying like the police officers more or less was thinking about public sentiment, the reaction of the public. If he has done anything, oh yeah, the police is
Precisely.
that
They were
sentiment,
that
is
public
that
sentiment.
sentiment making to compromise the law?
Yes, because they're not trained appropriately. They still need training. And the recent situation with the IG coming out and apologizing without investigation and suspending people abruptly for some actions and not correcting their actions. You suspend people, but you have to correct the actions of those people. You got to put the markers in. You see, in policing, what happened is every day is a teaching moment. Every incident, you learn from it. There's a teaching moment in every incident that a police is engaged in. Because police use discretion every second of the job. That's what they're trained to do. Every second of the job. This recent incident, the last incident, had an effect on the police responding to this situation. And I think those are the things that I may sound correct. I stand corrected if someone can think otherwise and convince me. But I can tell you the suspensions of other officers for trying to do the job play a role in that. The sentiment in the public. There's no respect for police officers in our country, and that happened since April 14. I keep telling people we got to go back to history. Prior to April 14, police were highly respected. Highly respected. You never touch a police officer. And that has been perpetuated over time during the war, after the war, when you put people there in position in the police department. Police cannot police the community without the community themselves working with the police.
So it
And that's
appears
what it
like,
is.
it like
It was
there's
wrong.
no.
It was wrong. In fact, the police were not equipped to handle the issue. And let me say it. Logistically, they were not equipped to handle that issue. They were not equipped.
Okay,
Because
level you
you don't have
level you there a little bit. I
the
think Terry,
apprehension.
level you
Even
there a little
if
bit. I
you
think
have
Terry
a
wanted to ask something.
vehicle that to transport her in to the station, but that was an
Yeah,
assault charge.
I just wanted to ask him whether if in your state, if you were a police officer and this lady looking at her condition and other things she did her action post a threat that weren't excessive force?
I didn't say. Did I say excessive force? The force that the
No, you
police is
asked
supposed
him.
to apply, the force the police is supposed to apply, it has to be equivalent to what that person is doing. In that situation, by pushing, then shoving the police officer, it required her being restrained from doing that. It was required.
So if it were you, what would you have done?
Excessive force, I didn't say slam her on the ground. I didn't say shoot her dead. She should have been apprehended and cuffed up so that she can stop assaulting the officer.
Okay.
What could be the perfect example of being restrained?
Well, that's why I told you we don't have handcuffs. The officer didn't have handcuffs. They didn't have the tags to even apprehend this woman. Take that umbrella for her. She would have hit anybody with that umbrella she had. Number one.
Right.
She could have used it as a weapon.
That's an object that is can
Exactly.
injure people
And
seriously.
with the way she was going there holding the umbrella, what if she had slammed somebody with an umbrella? Take the umbrella.
Let's take a
to
look
hold
at
her hands. That there are ways that she could have been apprehended without excessive force.
Let's take a look at Iggy. Stop it. How can we categorize this police officer? Because he was really provoked. And one of the things I don't like, I can't be a paramilitary person because there's too much of yes submission to things. I don't have time for that. But this is the lady, you see her finger or hand going.
She pushed the man
almost to the cap, almost like falling. How can we classify this officer?
This officer was thinking, from my own observation, he was thinking about the action that were going to take against him, how he responded to that. He didn't give equal apprehension at all for the attack on him. And she did it to the other officer. She went as far as breaking government equipment for the officer. The walkie-talkie. Who does that?
So are you also saying that the officers are becoming timid because apparently the Gregory Coleman have been taking some weak decisions in recent time that have threatened them?
Not only Gregory Coleman. The lack of training, the sentiment of the community towards police officer, it has timed the police department. And the Gregory Coleman, listen, I have nothing against, I met the brother when he came here, the young brother. And I can tell you, the last couple of statements and these press conferences and the thing that happened with that other Fula lady, because of the protest, he got there, got the bullhorn, and apologized openly without looking at the details of what happened. You got to pay attention to details. That's the first thing. Police don't react, especially when things happen. You got to do thorough investigation before you respond. You don't respond based on sentiment and political reason. That's why I'm saying we need to stop politicizing things. Election is over. Election.
So there was another officer.
Leaders.
How can you also categorize the other officers that came on the scene and it appears like he was conducting an investigation? Who's right? Who's wrong? Allowing explanations. Was that a workable strategy?
No. In fact, the first thing is that the two officers that were involved in that, and the guy directed the person who came in and were asking the question. The first thing is that when he came in, he saw it. He should have isolated that woman, and take the police aside, talk to them, and while the woman is in isolation in a police vehicle, isolated from folks, go and talk to her. He should have applied his training and make sure things calm down by that lady first being apprehended, because he watched her. She was still going after the police officer. And then he started, oh, ma, why are you calling her ma? And the woman told him.
No, I know that. I know that.
And the woman told him, nothing is wrong with me. I'm correct. I have no mental problem. Those were her words.
Should we take that as on the face value?
Take her?
I said, should we take that as a face value in as much those words coming out of her? It means she was in a normal state of condition. She was acting normally without anything.
Yes. Until you apprehend her and take her through a psychiatric evaluation, you take that as a face value. If the woman, what she has said, I'm going to stab you with a knife. What if she said that?
Well, Mr. Sibley,
you won't take that
as much as
you won't apprehend her.
In as much as I think you speaking from the perspective of, because for what I watched, I think the police officer acted professional. Because
there's no police officer.
I come in now,
Mr. Collins, ask any police officer that is trained.
These were two police officers on the scene. These two police officers were acting in the confine of the kind of force that they were dealing with. Because those police officers are trained people. They're not careless. And they knew that this woman did not pose a threat enough for them to assert certain kind of force, the force that you're talking about now, to apprehend her, pull her down, or to apprehend her and handcuff her. Because they were looking at her body language. And they knew she did not.
What you observe her body language? What do you observe? You as saying what was happening? What was the observation?
For me?
Yeah.
Her body language from what I observed did not pose a threat enough that warrant her to be apprehended as the way Mr. Sigbe is saying it.
So
that is what I saw.
How much thing would I warrant?
Okay, guys, let me hold you there. Let's get a reaction from one of our onliners. Aaron, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Cho.
Okay, so yeah, we are here this evening. You know, these things are very important. We need to have these things, and sometimes the way we also treat our law enforcers, regardless whether they are uniform, feel a khaki turning way, they are law. That's what they have. They are working within their own scope to maintain law and order. In as much they are annoying, they're doing other things, but we must also respect them. I can't imagine even trying that with gendarme in Ivory Coast. To go, you say you're doing that. You can be you can be injured, or even the police. You can't easily do that. But let's hear you, Aaron.
So, good evening to all. So, let me agree with Mr. Segbe, today. If what that lady did today, if it was in the United States, both of those officers were going to apprehend her. Use the minimum amount of force, to contain the situation. And nobody would have said anything to them because she was the aggressor. She went to the police officer. I watched the video a couple of times. But now, this is the thing. The police don't have no morale in Liberia anymore. Police morale is the number one thing in America. Mr. Sobe knows about that.
Yeah.
If the police lost or loses their morale in the community, nobody in the community is going to respect them. And that's what the police has come to in Liberia. People in the street turn against the police because of a lot of things that have been going on since the government took power. And that's what you see now today. Even during President Donald time, nobody challenged police officer.
Oh, you're not crazy.
Nobody do that. President Donald time I was very young, so I didn't see police officer like that. But President Donald time, who challenged police officer? When we see police, we have ourselves. Okay? But if you get a police institution, and I don't know, no disrespect to Gregory Como, I don't know which institution Gregory Como worked at before the Liberia National Police, or which school he went to where he got his police training from, that people think he's the most qualified person to do the job. If you're a police officer, every little exercise that you try to do or administer to your police officers, you want to put it on TikTok, you want to put it on video, these are the things that happen. Okay? These are the things that happen. Everything, every little training the police try to go through is on video. People not supposed to be seeing that. How many police academy you see training video all over the place here, Mr. So? How many police academy? Okay? So these people profess like they knew everything before they came to government, and now they're in government, they can't even handle the simplest thing over there. That woman was the aggressor today. She should have been apprehended. I agree with Mr. Secretary. She should have been apprehended, taken to jail. Then when they get to the place, they will explain what happened, what are the force that were used, was it the maximum force, and things like that. But the police morale is there.
Okay.
The police morale is there. And another thing I want to say before I close, the closing of CDC headquarters, or if even they're trying to evict CDC, I know that
what happened? No, tell what happened precisely.
What about what?
No, you said, are you talking about close or eviction? Which one? Why is a real story? You tell us.
Because I listened to Terry talking about, you know, they evicting the party and Cisco talk about it as well. No, all political parties that are in Liberia today, none of them have a headquarters that they own at themselves. None of them.
Why is that?
Unity Party were in power for 12 years, and they came back. They took them out of their headquarters. Now they all Broad Street, that little place. But that's the point I wanted to make. Before you get evicted from somewhere, it got to be something that you didn't do according to your binding lease contract. If you don't pay rent, you can get evicted for that. If you break any rules in your contract, you can get evicted for that. But if if your landlord or it's a family property and it's a dispute between the family and that dispute is in court, but you pay your rent, it's not eviction. It's not what we call eviction. That thing is being politicized. CDC being in headquarters, CDC not being in headquarters. Former president, we have been in America, Chile, and stuff like that, according to Terry, has nothing to do with the bread and butter issue that fixed in Liberia today. Has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
So CDC headquarters shouldn't even be a topic for us to be discussing, Mr. So. It shouldn't be a topic for us to be discussing. The human rights report that came out today, it should be something that we should be talking about. That caused the president to call an emergency cabinet meeting today. The first secretary.
Okay, all right, Aaron, thank you. Let me go to a few callers here too on the line.
So, I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to a few callers here. How can everybody? Okay, Clarence, let's hear you.
Hey, Sierra, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Where is Baku tonight?
Baku is on the run. You want to do a Baku, or you here to participate?
You know, I'm a rescue father here, you know.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you for the show tonight, especially about the topic that you could discuss concerning the police. To me, Gregory Coleman is not doing well for the police. Don't be frank and say the truth. It's the truth that Mr. Sembe is saying. I think we can go there was a DA officer that went a Kawa area, and that DA officer was killed in Kawa by the group of drug dealers in Kawa.
Right.
Today, the investigation is ongoing. So if you continue to expose the police and get into danger, many of the young people in getting at the end of the day will be afraid to be able to do the job. For example, when the Fuda Woman incident took place, you see me as an IG for the country, they just go behaving and say that you are the information minister, you apologize, but you never can investigation. So the suspicion that lady that the day on that Fuda Woman came on, he get that suspicion got to cover up. And the guy is saying that she killed the cat. So to me, if you don't know where you get there, what you do, you get there or you get the night and to protect the job, you put a risk. Don't say the truth.
Okay.
She is never I saw the to get out to the court. So how could you be there that your own police? So if we don't respect the police, our own police in the country, do you expect from foreign people that are coming there to respect the police? They will do the same thing.
Okay.
I will not say in my last point I want to make concerning the CDC headquarters.
Oh my God!
They were using AR to put out a building, that a building headquarters or NRSP, they're doing this. And these people getting, they are shameless.
Oh,
and their secretary general, see the post from Johnson County today, go to a federal base. The first CDC will now move from that headquarters of the 2029. They are not above the law.
Right.
So if they are coming to talk about human rights issues, listen to Aaron Brooker, the human rights report that came out today, we must take it more than once over discussing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. All right.
What's human rights record? So you want to come out there and talk about human rights record? Thank you for the show. See you.
Thank you so much. Let's see. There are a lot of callers here. Sorry, let's hear you.
Yes. How you doing, Mr. Sue? And hi to everybody on the show.
Good. Let's hear you. What's your side? What's your side of the story? Sorry, are you there?
Oh, sorry, just came to say hi.
Okay, I don't know why. Okay, let me see. I think the Liberal were calling here. I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry to went off.
Wow.
Oh, no. Hello?
Yeah, why are you purposely trying to somehow silence me for the night? I've been trying to reach this phone call, and I get call up. I call, I get call up. Is there any particular reason why you think I should not speak on this topic tonight? I'm the board chair, by the way. So the courtesy should be given to me fully. Mr. So, I think it's a wonderful show. You guys can you hear me?
Go ahead, we're hearing you.
Okay. It's a wonderful show you guys are having. But I think I too blame people in the government from time to time. There are certain things that perhaps our folks need to understand exactly. One of those I believe, and I'm not the expert on that, one of the experts is sitting right there with you in the studio tonight. I think if you know you don't know, ask for help. If you refuse to ask for help, asking for help does not make you a weak person. In fact, I believe asking for help makes you a stronger person, because that will give you an idea of what it is that you want to achieve. And by you asking for help, that will make you stronger instead of suffering. Now, with respect to the police and everything else, I will just let Mr. Secretary take the lead on that. I might not agree with him, but for tonight, I think Kumbaya is in place on that. What I don't want people to do is to tie the father of the nation around this whole issue. The father of the nation, Mr. So, the Liberal is speaking, please. The father of the nation has the responsibility, and he's carrying those out effectively, Mr. So we shouldn't go around, and it's not just you alone, but we shouldn't go around trying to haul you into this, to the backcourt of the front foot from the police and whatever. But I want to say this as well. But let's give them some reprieve. Let's give them some latitude here. I think these people are doing some job, and let's agree that they will make mistakes from time to time. But that does not require us to execute, or so to speak now, on them and whoever is making a mistake. I like to stay on as one of your panelists tonight. Don't keep me off the show. I'm the board chair, by the way. So please don't keep me out. Go ahead.
I didn't hear what you said.
Good night.
Do not keep me off the show. I'm the board chair.
Is that please, or are you demanding?
Mr. So, the board chair, so you want to see what we're bringing there, I'll speak it.
Okay.
Don't keep me on.
Okay.
I'm the board chair. I still, I might not have the voice, but I still got control. Okay. I'm the board chair. You don't keep me on.
Okay, but until you can speak the
Okay. All right. Keep me on intellectually. Let's have a conversation.
All right. Okay, here we are. So quickly, Moses, what I wanted to ask, because, you are taking it from the law enforcement side, which is good, focus on your area. Now, her moving here and there, what is the level of threat? Any probability, if assuming that police officer had like a weapon, her actions, is she capable to lay hand on it and to react? Seeing what you were saying, seeing what she was exhibiting, could that be the reason to get hold of her if that officer had like a weapon on his side? Was
Well,
that a possibility that she could easily reach it as well?
well, I can't speculate on that, and I'm not sure she was capable of doing that. She had an umbrella. The umbrella could serve as a weapon with the way she was attacking and being aggressive towards the officer and going on to the officer. Okay, but let me just say these few things. We need to understand that officers use their discretion and appropriate force. That's what they go to academy for. They use the appropriate force to counter the situation, and they should use their discretion. I don't think these officers did anything to really address the issue. The second thing here is that, I am really bothered by us politicizing everything, number one. And there was another thing that happened with the police department that really ticked me off, that really had me annoyed. On Sunday, United Methodist or Baptist Church was being guided by police officer because the bishop called
Methodist.
the police department to come and guard to deter people from coming to church and creating problems. And this is the government spending money on the officers to do that to a church? You know how many churches might call police officer and you already don't have the capacity to serve your entire community? Everybody can police, but everybody don't have the ability to arrest anyone. That's why police officers, the word officers, is equipped with policing. We police our kids. We police our community. But we don't have that officer power when we take the oath to arrest people because we understand the Constitution, the laws, and the violations. That's what they're trained to do. Police officers don't go guard church, which makes using government funding and government resources by allowing officers to go line up in front of the church. And you already don't have, you're taking away from something that's happening that police supposed to be attended to. I was annoyed when I saw that. And the only time it happened in any developed country or any country is by applying for detailed officer, and those are the officers that are not on duty, and you pay them for coming to give you an assistance.
Yeah, so that's the institution or whatever group, they are responsible to pay them, correct?
Yes, the institution. So did that church, listen, I will stand corrected if the church paid the police officer. The institution that they come in to protect, that's why they have detailed officer. Those that are not on duty, you go there, you say, I need certain protection at so time because we're doing this. We'll pay money.
Can I say something to that? Because I don't think
Reverend Collins, Pastor Collins. This is something that happens all over the world.
Yeah, let him get his stuff.
Mr. Segway, you not been following. These people almost kill people. They gave right something. It happened. The last time they beat one other man. The last time the police even put one of the bishops in jail.
But why he's saying?
Let me say this. What I'm saying with Pastor Collins is that when there's problem and police respond, they need to address the issue. You don't preempt what's going to happen and bring them from other duties of working and doing their assigned duty to come and keep God.
Police are responsible. But how do you know?
Higher private security. Listen.
The police are responsible to save lives and property.
Reverend Collins, higher private security.
I understand that one.
When a crime is committed, police respond and apprehend people. When a crime is not committed, police should not be there. I hope the church paid them.
So you got to wait for a crime to be committed. So even when there is a crime is about to be committed,
we don't
call for help. Why do we have 911?
You see, that's why you dial 911 when you know something happening that warrants the police intervention.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what the people call. They call because something was about to happen.
Listen, my brother, they were there from the morning. They said,
yeah, because there was a threat. There was a threat before that time.
Terry, let us know. Let us know.
Profession. Liberian National Police. Liberian National Police, that's the misuse of resources. When you take people and go preempt something's going to happen and they got to guide the church.
Terry,
so the capital building that they went, that will blame the police.
No, you blame the police. You blame the police. I didn't. I always said they need Capitol Police officers.
Terry. So let me ask you: do you think the church knew that there would be a potential problem or something?
Yes.
So why, if they knew there's going to be a problem, there's going to be a crisis, why should they go ahead with that, with whatever service or ceremony, knowing that going to be? Because you don't know the severity of the threat, you don't know the severity of what going to occur, whether police there or not. Why should they go ahead with that?
Oh, but obviously it's Sunday service. The people want to have service and they got intel or information.
So when your church, when you listen, let be honest, let be practical. If you get a church here and you hear say there's an imminent threat, maybe bomb threat, or the people are going to storm your church for whatever reason, maybe they want to kidnap somebody or they want to carry somebody. If you're reporting that, I believe you're going to report all of those information to the police, right? You're not going to give them half information. You're going to tell them exactly what are the information you're getting. So in that case, do you think it's still imperative that you go ahead, even though there's an imminent threat? There could be a bomb, there could be a kidnapping, or people could storm, and that could involve lives and property. Will you still go ahead?
It depends on the advice on the police. Because the police got to come first to the ground, or if the police recognize that the threat is enough a threat, right? They can decide as to what kind of response they will respond. So I'm not saying that Mr. Sigbe is wrong. I'm not trying to be right, but I am saying from what I have observed, all right, police, this is why you have 911. This is why police gave you code. So if there is a potential threat, you can communicate to the police, and the police can determine, based upon the communication, whether if that threat is warrant their presence or not, or whether
because you know how guys, they reported that thing. I saw on the website there was a huge presence of police.
Can I come in, please?
Yeah. Okay. We're almost out of time. Terry, let Koto come in. Then you.
Yeah. Let's just Koto come in.
Koto, let's hear you.
Yeah, I actually differ with Mr. Singway on that. We have seen even in the traffic, you see the police parked there to deter, would-be speeder, to serve as a deterrent to a conflict. So you don't have to wait for a conflict to occur, before you call the police. If it is detected, that's why you see sometimes the police will be roaming around the area where they suspect some conflict in the area. For me, I'm not really close with the with security, but with my little security knowledge, because I operated a security company, I think they call it prevention is better than cure. We do the prevention before the event actually occur. So you don't wait. Why in an instant of it occurring, yes, they can call the police on 911. But if they have the heads up that indeed there is a suspicion, we speculating that something will occur, the police come in to protect or to prevent that occurrence, from happening. I think that was not a bad thing.
So let me just say this.
No, let me do it online because we are out of time. Let online. You were closer, or we guys were closer.
While I'm thinking about
it.
Let me just say this real quick while I'm thinking about it.
Oh God.
I beg you, Koto, The police officer on the traffic is his assignment. Okay? That's why if you know that something is coming and you call the police department, you want police protection, you pay for it. That's what I'm talking about. You don't take police, the resources that the government provide or the city provide and use it unilaterally. Nobody comes in. That's why you say you are in charge of a private company. That's why people hire a private company. Can you imagine if all the stores over there that got private security would say we want policemen because we think somebody's going to break in? What that effect we have on the country? Police people are trained and given special assignments in the community. When they're on patrol, they're on patrol. You can't equip that with police going and guiding a church because it's preeminent that there's going to be a fight.
I think we have that. Yeah, we have that. Okay, let's go to the online people quickly for their statement. Let's hear you. Who are here? Sarah is still here? Keto, is that Keto?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Hi, gentlemen and ladies. So this is the thing here. I think the topic today, where people trying to change the actual story in like from Liberia, it's not about the police leader that came out. That police leader is just insignificant because the American State Department has qualified what many Liberians are seeing from the police department. That's the reason why Gregory Cuomo today, his name is in the his name is in the his name is in the report, the human rights report. Not only Gregory Cuomo alone for human rights abuses by his police force, the press secretary to the president, Kula Fofana, name is also in the report. And it's so unfortunate that Mr. Stoll, you being a very resourceful person, Mr. Stoll, you didn't read that report. The report is damning. It's bad for the government. Completely bad. And if you read that report, your hair will sing. And today we are not talking about it. It came up today. And the report is bad. And named for the first time, you have named government officials that are involved in sanctioning the press, involved in human rights and everything. And we are talking about woman trying to get through, police trying to prevent us, trying to do the one. What's that? CDC headquarters being taken away. What's that? We're talking about real issues. Making this government to bend. So the report, I believe, maybe before you guys coming on, let us get the report and analyze the report. It's very important for our country.
You already said that, Koto.
So, Koto said, Keto, there's also there's also a provision in this business. You can also hold news. If you are not sure, if you have not gone through something, you don't just we don't want to be like Abu Kiri. You hear A and you just explore with A because you simply want people to be entertained or you simply want people to hear it. News is you want to read, you want to go in there, maybe you compare and contrast and see what they're really saying so that we can have a good conversation. Like I said, I got it, but I never had a time to just go through it. The beat or the caption alone is just insufficient to say, oh, this is what because you have to provide details to that story. It doesn't mean we put it on water. It doesn't mean we want to discuss it. But that was the very first thing Terry came with. I said, well, I mean, you have the right to discuss it. But I would like to read it to see what it is that we can have a conversation.
But can I come in to say something?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that is a concern, and we all are concerned about. But with the event occurring and with the report coming, automatically the president came in with a statement stating that the relevant institutions that were responsible are conducting investigation, and also to make sure that all of these events that they have been highlighted by the human rights will be taken into consideration. Unlike the past government, they were not even taking that into consideration.
That's a problem. That's a problem. You people have everybody try to protect. Now you protect your own.
No, so he brought that up. He brought it up. That's why I'm commenting this way. But we're not looking at it as or we insulting the security apparatus or the human rights. But this is it's the issue that is flagged. It has to be investigated and make sure that these things does not occur again.
I don't even trust government. I don't even trust government. These are endless investigation. I'm sick and tired with it.
Well, that's it. The fact that you acknowledge there's a problem, that means that you are acknowledging and making some correction to the problem you have.
I'm wondering now, you know what
I'm not even in support of what happened. But the fact that they can acknowledge and try to, investigate to make sure that it does not occur, to me, that was, a first good initiation to take.
The lack of execution, the lack of execution, implementations of policy by government from time to time is a problem. But anyway, time has caught up with us here. We got to wrap up. Libra, are you still there? Oh, okay. The Libra is out. Okay, Terry, let's hear you. Yeah, let's get your final word.
Yeah, Mr. So you see, they got something that the police call patrol police in Liberia. Patrol police, they engage and make sure for police safety. They can be called on upon any time to help to protect, structures from damages and to help to curtail crimes in community. Check it out on patrol police officers. So I'm not going to, try to overemphasize because it is there, it is clear. I don't think I see nothing wrong with what the police did with the Lutheran church. Why? Because that Lutheran saga have been going on for months and police were never visible. Police do not nobody can just call police officer and they just attend to a certain situation because, they just call you. No, that thing have been going on for months. And everybody know it led to demonstration. It led to almost the killing of somebody. So that is the reason why the police presence was felt at the Methodist Church. They go on Sunday because they wanted to prevent.
So let's assume there will be a continuous process for the next one month, 2, 3 months. Should the police continue to be there and taxpayers should continue to provide funds?
It depends on whether if there are potential crimes. If there are potential crimes, the police presence is going to be felt. Mr. So, it's almost like when you're doing protests. Don't the police create buffer zones when there are protestations going on in the country? So, but I don't want to. Now, the issue about that lady, we were talking about how, the lady and things like that. There are police doing it. I was just reading on the U.S. Capitol Police officer.
We got less than 3 minutes to go. Let's kind of pump it up quick.
Yeah, the U.S. Capitol that went on. There were police that got hurt. They were beaten. They did not use force, neither did they retaliate. In America here, during the Capitol building saga, go and read on it. These police officers did not retaliate.
Talking about our specific time, you know that the crowd too overwhelmed the police.
Thank you.
But the police have protected themselves. They
Don't
have
go
the
there.
right to do it.
Don't go there, my brother.
So why they didn't protect themselves?
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Why did they open fire, Mr. Silver?
Don't go there.
Not only open fire. That's just the last resort. Open fire. That's the last resort.
The Capitol, but these people were overwhelmed, like you just said.
Reverend Collins. Reverend Collins. Please,
okay, guys, let's closing.
The police officers.
Please don't insult the institution. That's a total insult to the institution.
I'm not saying that you are wrong.
Listen, January 6th.
Guys, Moses, hold on. Moses. We gotta let us not do it like the other side of the world. I mean, let him speak. Let him speak his mind, and then you have a point.
I'm not saying on this issue with the lady, you could be right based upon your discretion of what kind of force accept. Likewise, the two officers that did not retaliate is also right because they have already realized the kind of force that was being exerted. That is the reason why at the end result there was no damages caused, because the people
Thank
already.
you so much.
That is why they de-escalated the threat, because they know that it was different from the saga with the Fuller woman. That incident you just showed us is completely
Let's
different
leave
on
it
the
there.
Fuller
We
woman.
are out. Moses, let's hear you quickly.
Mr. Terry Collins, the Reverend, the pastor, is total disrespect to the law enforcement institution to critique the incident in Liberia and equip that with January 6th. January 6th was an insurrection. That's why they had trials and hundreds of people were put in jail, and that the officers were overwhelmed by the crowd. And you got to understand, officers sat there, they didn't even deploy. They told the president to deploy the National Guard. He refused. And there were a whole lot of scenarios. Don't compare it to that. That's an insult to our profession. The other thing I'm trying that I must get clear here is that police using discretion on a daily, every second of their job is very important. Those discretion involve using equal a response of force based on the incident. The church cannot utilize government taxes and government fundings for their protection without paying back. It's in policing. That police raise money from the other activities for the equipment that they use for the services they give. You cannot take a police from a traffic assignment and go put them to church and say God is church because the church been having something for a month. Now, if this church is having this problem for a whole year, that's a misuse and abuse of government resources.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Period.
Koto, let's hear your final word. We gotta go.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. So, and thanks to the other panelists. I heard a caller saying that it in question was not dealt with according to law. And I don't know whether the person is following the event. That lady was apprehended and sent to court. And, and I like how the police handled the situation, because that event could have escalated, to chaotic situation, but they handled it in an amicable way that it did not escalate, which I appreciated them. And with the CDC headquarters issue, I heard our people from the other side, saying that this is not the case. This is comparing to the Unity Party, and this is why I come in to say the Unity Party should learn from their mistake. Because we cannot always have an institution, especially for where this government came from and was bailing mass, bailing for themselves, and did not look at the political party. That was the disservice to the people that served them, that they should come to this point where they have to be dislodged. And I think we should, try to respect our followers. Because it come to the point that people only come to their people to talk to them when they need vote. After the vote, what happened next? No, they don't care. And I came in late. There was an issue that I really wanted to flag, and maybe another day, I don't know, but I don't know whether you guys listen. I sent the link to Mr. So and I posted it. We are now hearing that the representatives exhausted their income. And I don't know how far this issue is going. But I want us to look at it critically, because we were saying this thing, and I'm one of those did not trust even the speaker that in position right now. And because of the condition and the position I know the speaker will be in, I am scared. Because if a representative, they say when a crack comes from the water and tell you, say something happening there, don't denounce what the person has said. And we are hearing representatives saying that the account or the budget has been exhausted, whereas we are in half of the term. I'm scared of that. and we have to flag this issue. I hope it is not what we suspect, because knowing that if the budget is set and you accumulate the budget and exhaust the budget without the time, it may cause chaotic situation. And I'm looking at that seriously.
If it does happen, I'm not surprised. You get a guy who will take left hand to take an oath of office. He can do anything to get.
I support this government, and I'm telling you, if I know, unlike the other side of our people, I'm not one of those who support everything that the government does. No.
All right, well, we will do a follow-up on that, but I mean, always expect the unexpected, seeing our society, what is happening on a daily basis, and people do these things and they just go scot-free, and we talk until our jaw all goes into pain. But guys, thank you so much. We are hearing that from the late minister, potentially from family sources, if that information is proven to be right, I might most likely be laying to rest in Houston, Texas. We're not hearing that about
so
it.
Who will be the next minister of state?
Why can't you wait in peace? Oh my God!
We'll be speculating. We got to speculate. That's what Lpr do. Maybe they come and call you. We don't know.
Collins.
Yeah. So much I will sack people and they will get those.
Maybe that Mr. Segbe they come and call. You never know.
You see, you can see me running their government job. I don't run behind it because
you're good now.
We'll go by the letter.
Esther, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a free position. I'm a religious man. I don't belong to none of those crap.
Gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, you're good now. You're bye-bye.
Everything you got politics is that.
All right, guys. You all have a pleasant night. Bye-bye.
Good night.